Hello guys, my name is Spinosaurus the King. I'm here to announce my petition, and this petition is to call out to all the true Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus fans who want to see the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus return in a future Jurassic World live action movie or even future TV shows, because we've been wanting to see the Spinosaurus return for a long time now, and it wasn't in Chaos Theory, and it appears that it's probably not going to be in Rebirth. But even as we want to see the Spinosaurus return, a huge shout out to my friend Steven. The link to his channel will be in the description below. But yeah, anyone who wants the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus to come back the correct way, 18.2 meters long, and is by far the biggest and strongest, tallest and heaviest land carnivore and the best fighter as well in the Jurassic World franchise, then make sure to check out the link to my petition on change.org. The link will be in this video, and it'll also be attached to my YouTube channel. It will be attached to my Instagram, and also it will be attached to my Patreon, so make sure you go check it out and sign the petition. It's free to sign. So again, if you're a true Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus fan like me, Steven, and all my other good friends like David Church and everyone else, then definitely check out this link, because again, we're hoping that this petition can call out to the filmmakers of Jurassic World so they can listen to us and bring back the Spinosaurus the proper way, the proper size, and this time with the correct Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus roars, and obviously bringing him back in live action rather than a kid's show. And just bringing him back in a badass way, because again, we've been asking for him to come back, and it just seems that he's not going to come back, which is why I created this petition. But I'm really hoping that this petition will be able to bring back the Jurassic World 3 Spinosaurus if we can get enough people to sign the petition and get a hold of someone like Colin Trevorrow, Steven Spielberg, or Gareth Edwards. Once again, calling out to all the true Jurassic World 3 Spinosaurus fans out there. Hey guys, how's it going? Spinosaurus the King here, and before I get started with this video, if you're enjoying my content on YouTube, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you're alerted for my next video on YouTube. Leave a like and share this video with everyone, and post a friendly comment. Also, check out my Patreon for amazing deals I'm offering you guys, so you can not only support me, but so you can get extra content. Each tier has a list of all the benefits you will get from each tier. I hope you guys can join one of my tiers. The link to my Patreon is in the description below, and follow me on Instagram as well for extra content there. And if you wish to support me even further, my PayPal donation link is in the description below. All donations are highly appreciated by me, and if you want to buy STK merchandise, the link to my Teespring is also in the description below. So if you want cool STK merch, including hats, pants, shoes, water bottles, workout and sport equipment, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweaters, stickers, necklaces, mugs, glasses, tank tops, bags, desk mats, and possibly more options in the future, then be sure to check out my store for epic STK merchandise. Any merch bought from you guys will be highly appreciated by me. So in this video, I'm going to be joined by a special guest. Go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Jurassic fans. David Church here, and today we've got something very special planned for you all.
Hell yeah. So in this video, we're going to be talking about our final predictions before going into the theaters and watching the great movie Jurassic Park 7, Jurassic World 4, aka the main title, Jurassic World Rebirth. Hell yeah. Oh my god, because again, there's just been a lot of crazy predictions for this film. David, with all the updated information that we have, why don't you go ahead and tell us your final predictions first before I go ahead and tell mine?
All right. So, let's see. From recently revealed information, it's cool to see that we're finally getting Carnotaurus back. Plus, it seems we're getting Diabloceratops. So,
For sure.
my prediction is that all the scenes involving them will be on the Rebirth Island.
For sure, for sure. Now, if I had to predict, if we are getting a Carnotaurus, I would predict it's not going to be the ones we've seen before. Like, it won't be Toro, it won't be the Demon Carno, or the Red Carno. It's probably going to be a brand new one. My guess is either it's going to be the green Carno or maybe a yellow one based off the toy. It's going to be one of those two colors. That's my guess. It's going to be a brand new Carno we haven't seen before, or the green one.
My best guess it's a brand new one. And
True, yeah.
also, since we've got Carnotaurus in this, and the fact that they're taking a few more inspirations and stuff from the original Michael Crichton novels,
Yep.
what if they're going to make this Carnotaurus camouflage?
I really hope so because they already took the river raft scene from the novel in this movie. So if they also include, the Carnotaurus camouflage scene for the novel as well, that would just make this movie even better. And then, if we're lucky, maybe there's a second Dilophosaurus in this movie that's like the size of the novel one, and maybe it kills the person like it did in the novel. If they do that, bro, this movie's easily gonna be a 10 out of 10 if they do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That would be awesome. But sadly, if I had to predict that there's going to be a full-grown Dilophosaurus, I want to say, okay, this time the reason why I'm a little more convinced is only because it's a new director and they're taking things directly from the novel. So I think this time I would give it a 40 to 50% chance instead of saying guarantee it's not going to happen just because of the
Right.
new information. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense.
For sure. I mean, I'd love to say it's more than a 50% chance of happening, but it just seems that every time they bring it back, it's smaller. But again, the reason why I have some hope is because it's a new director and because they've already taken a scene from the novel that was from the same novel where we saw a fully grown Dilophosaurus.
Oh yeah. I mean, it still feels like we're not getting like the true size of the Dilophosaurus in these movies. Like,
Sadly, yeah,
yeah, it feels like that smaller size is what they want to go with. But I mean, we know that other materials say that Dilophosaurus did get bigger, so that is always going to be kind of a weird quirk, isn't it?
that's true. In fact, I know what we could do, bro, that can make this easier and actually more detailed. Why don't we talk about our final predictions based off every dinosaur that's going to be in the film, or the main ones that are, most pumped for the film, if you know what I mean. What do you think
Oh,
about
for
that, bro?
sure. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, since you're the guest, why don't you go ahead and tell us what dinosaur you want me and you to talk about first for our final predictions before going in to see the movie?
Well, how about let's address Spinosaurus for first.
Oh, brother, I couldn't have said it better. I totally agree. Let's do it, bro. This one gets me excited because I do have I think at this point, based on everything we've seen, I got my final predictions. But go ahead and tell us yours first, brother.
Okay, my first prediction is that in some way, shape, or form, we will be getting the JP3 Spino back.
Nice, nice, nice. That's a really good one, bro. What other predictions do you have for the Spinosaurus or just the Reaper trio that's going to be in the movie?
So since we're getting like a larger one, fingers crossed it's the JP3 Spino, but also
For sure.
something tells me that the trio that we initially saw are probably going to try to take on the D-Rex, but are going to fail miserably at fighting it.
True, true. For sure. Yeah, for me, like, I'm trying to think. It's really hard to explain this, but I do think that, again, the fourth Spinosaurus is, like, whether it's the JP3 Spinosaurus or just or not, I do think it's going to be looking different than the other three, because I really want to say that the JP3 Spino is back, because, like, how can three scientifically accurate Spinosaurus. In fact, these things are even smaller and weaker than the accurate Spinosaurus. Take on something as big and huge and powerful as the D-Rex when this thing is said to be the strongest creature in the franchise. It doesn't add up, you know. It really doesn't. I don't understand.
For sure. I mean, there's no way that those three accurate Spinos would be able to take that thing down.
For sure. And again, like sure, I have a little bit more hope this time for the JP3 Spino to return because we have a new director, which means and also Gareth is known for doing things like that. But at the same time, the problem here is, bro, is that it just seems that they're always, no matter what happens, ignoring the return of the JP3 Spino in terms of live action. Because we know for a fact they easily are able to bring it back in cartoon because we just saw it 3 years ago, right? But
Right.
it just seems that something always gets in the way for live action. It's super frustrating, But what do you think?
Right? I mean,
Yeah,
it seems like they don't want to bring it back for live action for some reason.
I know. My guess is if that's the case, it's probably because of the controversy. But at this point, it's like it's been years, and like at this point, why are they so afraid to bring it back? They just brought it back in Camp Creation and also did another rematch. So at this point, it shouldn't matter if they bring it back because they just brought it back in a show that's 100% canon.
Right? And I mean, seriously, Jurassic Park 3 is over 20 years old. You would think that they would have forgotten it by now, right?
Exactly. It's over 20 years old. They brought it back in Camp Creation and had a rematch, and they're calling this show 100% canon. So therefore, they shouldn't be afraid to bring it back in live action when the kids show is considered 100% canon, and they already had a rematch there too. So that's why I think that this bringing them back should not be a problem anymore, in my opinion, based off that.
Right.
For sure. But again, we still do have some evidence he's coming back. Again, there's rumors saying the fourth Spinosaurus was looking different in the trailers because they don't want to spoil it, and based on what the people saw at CCXP in Mexico, and just based off the plot leaks, and also based on how strong this D-Rex is, and also based off the fact that we don't know much about this movie, they're hiding a lot of things. That makes me think that there still is. I'm gonna have to say, okay, for the JP3 Spino or Spino similar to him in Rebirth, my final prediction is I'm gonna have to say 50%. I'm not gonna say it's guaranteed gonna happen or guarantee no. I think it's a 50-50, just based off the information we have. But what's your final prediction, bro, on that?
I agree. It is very much a 50-50 chance at this point.
For sure.
I'm
Like
just
yeah,
hoping what you were saying with the CGI being different on that fourth Spino in the TV spot is true, and that they're just doing that to hide it. Like they did with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield for Spider-Man No Way Home.
for sure. Unless there's five Spinosaurus, which I don't think that'd be the case, but I don't know. We'll see. Because if that is true, and the four Spinosaurus and the boat attack scene are only going to be the accurate ones, but then maybe the final battle we see the JP3 Spinosaurus based off a couple of leaks. That's possible too. But my best guess is what Swerve said, that the fourth one, it was maybe the JP3 one, but they edited it to make it look a lot different, because there was a recent blurred photo that showed the four Spinosaurus blurred out, and it looked different than the TV spot. So that's a slight little hint there too, I guess you could say.
I hope.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
and, while we're on the topic of Spinosaurus,
Yeah,
that leads to another prediction I'm hoping
for
for.
sure.
If you remember correctly, there was a T-shirt that was saying that we'd get a fight between the Spinosaurus trio and
I
Triceratops.
heard about
I hope
that.
that's I hope that's true.
That's my guess. I feel like the new Spinosaurus trio, or just one of them, is going to take on the Triceratops, because that would be an interesting battle. And again, that was said in one of the, what's it called again? Oh, on one of the materials for marketing. And
Yep.
another battle I think that's going to happen too. Here's the things that I'm going to see 100% are happening. A Spinosaurus, I don't know which one, but a Spinosaurus will be fighting the D-Rex. That's, I'm going to say, is 100% guarantee. Mutodon versus Velociraptor, I'm going to say that's 100% guarantee as well. And Spinosaurus versus Triceratops, based off that really big promotional, I think that's going to happen too. Those three, I would say 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, I agree. There is a good chance of those happening.
Sure.
And
Even if they don't
yeah,
happen, I would be very shocked. But
what's
I'm
that?
just saying, I would say that I would be very shocked if those didn't happen, because there's so much evidence to point towards it. That's why I'm saying it should be guaranteed.
For sure, right?
That's true.
And just because we got both T-Rex and Spinosaurus back in this, how likely do you think it is we might get another rematch?
About that, okay, so I would say not impossible. I mean, so someone told me that it's not happening, but others say it is. But I would not be surprised if it is happening, because again, it's live action. We have a T-Rex and the Spinosaurus in the same movie, and then look what happened in Camp Days. The T-Rex and Spino were on the same island in the same show, and rematch happened there. So I would say it's not guaranteed, yes or no. I'm gonna have to say maybe 50% chance, just because we don't have still enough evidence to fully prove it. That's happening in the marketing or anything like that.
You raise a good point, bro. I mean,
Yeah, I would say 50%
I was
chance.
sure that at this point we probably would know. Like they would have teased it in some way
For
or another.
sure, unless they're hiding it, because that could be another battle hiding too. So I would say my final prediction on T-Rex versus Spinosaurus happening with the Rebirth Spinosaurus, because I can guarantee. Here's one thing I will guarantee. Well, I'll say guarantee is probably not going to happen. Is the JP3 Spinosaurus versus the Rebirth T-Rex? I 100% guarantee that's not going to happen.
Fair enough.
Could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I highly doubt that. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I mean, at this point it is still hard to determine what's going to happen or not.
True. I would say there's a better chance of the Rebirth, like the new Spinosaurus fighting the T-Rex. I think that's a better chance, in my opinion.
Agreed.
For sure. But I would say, yeah, the Rebirth Spinosaurus pack, or whether it's one of them or all four versus the T-Rex, I think I would say between 40 to 50% chance of happening. That's my final prediction on that. What's your final prediction on that?
Yeah, I'd say it's I mean at least 50%. I mean,
True.
but again, I still feel like we still would have to wait and see. But at least we only have 2 weeks.
That's true. Now, again, the only reason why I'm saying it's a 50% chance for the JB3 Spino to come back is like let's say it was Colin Trevorrow directing the movie, then I would say, yeah, guaranteed no 100% because he's been cutting it out. You know, he cut it out of 3 movies, right? Like, I don't hate
True
him. He
that.
still is a good director. But if he was directing this movie again, then yeah, I would say it's 99.9% chance that the JB3 Spino won't be back because we know what he's like, right? He always cuts it out last second. So,
Right?
but again, we have a brand new director. And this brand new director is known for keeping secrets and not being revealed until the movie's shown. So I think that if he truly is keeping a secret, it could be the JB3 Spino. So that's why I'm saying it's a 50% chance
Right, exactly.
for sure. Exactly. Yeah. So I would say a 50% chance for that. And I'm trying to think of what else would happen for my final predictions. I would say my final predictions on what's going to happen for the opening scene is I think there's going to be 2 opening scenes. It's going to be a flashback to Jurassic World Dominion and also slightly what happened after that film. And then after that, another opening scene we'll get within the first 20 minutes of the movie is the D-Rex flashback. I think those 2 are going to be opening scenes. A flashback news report to Jurassic World Dominion, and that's what happens slightly after that, and then the flashback D-Rex scene. But what's your final prediction for the opening part?
I also think that the whole like lab scene with the D-Rex and him attacking that one worker, I also think that's only going to be the only opening scene.
Right, right.
But or at least that's going to be the first one.
For
But
sure. Yeah, I
I
think that's
want
going to be the first one, yeah.
but I want to say too that I'm sure they're going to reference what's happened between the movies because I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
some way or another they're going to address what's happened between Dominion and Rebirth. I mean, if all the dinosaurs are starting to die off,
for sure. Well, you see, I think that's pretty much guaranteed. I can almost guarantee that in Jurassic World Rebirth, we're either going to get a flashback news report to Jurassic World Dominion, or if we don't get that, someone's going to reference what happened from the events of Dominion until Rebirth. I think, like, in my final prediction on that whole subject is that's one of those 2 things are guaranteed to happen. Which one? I don't know, but one of them 2 for sure. What do you think?
yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
do
because
agree.
yeah, because again, if they really want to call this movie canon and also say it's a sequel to Dominion, then they would have to do one of those 2 things to make it feel that way, you know?
Right? I mean, again, that also just leads to that I really hope that David Kep was telling the truth that everything in the last 6 movies did still happen and that there wouldn't be any retcons.
You know what? That's a great topic for the next thing. So again, there's two choices that we can pick here for the David Kaplan. Do you think that this movie is going to be retconned, or do you think halfway through the movie there's going to be a massive plot twist that explains everything and it's going to feel fully canon to the other films? What do you think is going to happen between those 2 picks, brother?
Personally, I want to say the second one just because,
True,
you gotta have that sense of trust with David Kep just because of his past history with Jurassic.
for sure, for sure.
But on the other hand, I get the feeling that, with it being called Rebirth and stuff, they do sort of want to distance themselves from the previous trilogy,
Yeah,
which kind of sucks
I
because I
agree.
honestly did like the Jurassic World
I
trilogy.
did too, and it really doesn't make sense if they were gonna retcon that because again, if they want to say this film is no retcons and it's a sequel to Dominion, then they can't just simply ignore the events of the original trilogy and also the new trilogy we got in the last 10 years. That would just make that would ruin everything, you know. So I pray to God that that does not happen.
Yeah, same here.
So again, I don't know what's gonna happen, but if I had to predict, take a wild guess, I think that there's gonna be a massive plot twist that's revealed about halfway through the film, and that's gonna explain why they're saying that these dinosaurs were the original ones for the original park and all that stuff. I think there's gonna be a plot twist that's gonna explain everything because again, they're saying the D-Rex was a part of the original dinosaurs that are too dangerous for the original park, but then it's been confirmed the D-Rex was actually born in early 2011 or late 2010. So therefore, I do think something's off about this. There's going to be a plot twist for sure. I'm pretty sure
You know, I intend to. I'm inclined to agree
for
because
sure.
I mean, think about it. You've seen like the clips from that lab scene with the D-Rex.
Yep,
That looks way too modern for it to be like back in the 1970s or 80s.
it does. Yeah, and these dinosaurs that are being shown in the movie, they don't act like they're very old. If they really were 50 years old, number one, either they wouldn't be alive, or number two, they would be moving way slower. You know?
Right. I mean, definitely that T-Rex would be very, very old. Like it'd be older
Exactly,
than Rexy, and
for sure. And
T-Rexes
that,
are believed to live to at least their 30s.
yeah,
And
and this one would be like way
yeah.
older. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so something's off here for sure. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, exactly.
For sure. Okay, so the David Kep thing we talked about. So our next final prediction. Why don't we talk about our final predictions for? Let me think. Let me think. Maybe the D-Rex.
Sure.
Okay, you go first, brother. Tell me all your final predictions of the scenes we're gonna get with the D-Rex.
So, my final predictions for the D-Rex is that the new Spinosaurus, whether it's the JP3 one officially or just a bigger one than the trio, that's going to play a pivotal role in taking it down. And
For
that
sure.
the final battle will happen by the water, so that way it makes more sense for the Spinosaurus to show up.
For sure, because I've heard many rumors saying that there will be absolutely no other dinosaurs involved with this fight except for Spinosaurus is. So here's my guess. I have three guesses. Like if that is true, based off that, I have three guesses on how the final battle is going to go. If it's only with the species Spinosaurus, either number one, the D-Rex slaughters the 3 to 4 Acrospinosaurus, and then the JP3 Spinosaurus comes out of nowhere and kills it. That's number one. Number two, the JB3, the JB. Wait, number two would be the Reaper Spinosaurus trio getting help from a fourth Spinosaurus that's as strong or close to as strong, or maybe even stronger than the JB3 Spinosaurus. Or number three, the Reaper Spinosaurus trio. It's only those three that kill the T-Rex, and the only reason why they kill it is because they are able to get it into the deep ocean and drown it.
Ah, that. I mean, that does make sense considering that they're able to swim,
For sure.
and the D-Rex does not seem like a swimmer to me.
Exactly. So I'm like, and that's why I'm saying that if it's going to be only the species Spinosaurus and no other species involved within that battle except for D-Rex and Spinosaurus, I think one of those three is going to happen. Either there's going to be the three Spinosaurus kill it in the water, or the three Spinosaurus team up with the fourth Alpha Spinosaurus, or the JP3 Spinosaurus is the one to kill it. One of those three,
Absolutely, I do agree.
for sure. But do you think that's possible that the Tyrannosaurus Rex or the Mosasaurus are going to be in the final battle, or like, what's your final prediction on that? Do you think they're going to be in the final battle, or most likely not?
Honestly, I don't think so at this point.
I
Just
agree.
because they've used T-Rex for the final battle
Way too many
in two out
times.
of the three. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic World Dominion.
Yep,
Those are the three movies thus far that used T-Rex in the final fight, in the
for
final
sure.
battle. So it'd be kind of
Exactly,
nice
and
to take a break.
don't forget about Camp Cretaceous as well. They use T-Rex for a lot of final battles there
Oh,
too. So
absolutely. The ending of season one of Chaos Theory, the ending of season five for
yep,
Camp Cretaceous.
for sure.
You raise a point there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And plus, again, if they really had the Mosasaurus involved with this would just be way too much of a repeat of Jurassic World. It wouldn't be cool to see that. We just saw that, I don't think that would be cool, to be honest.
You're right again. Yeah, you're right because that's my thought too.
For sure. Yeah, so I guess our best guess is either the JP3 Spinosaurus kills it, a fourth Alpha Spina kills it, or the Reaper Trio kills it. It's one of those three for sure. Which one? I don't know, but I guarantee it's one of those three.
I agree. Spinosaurus is going to be the one that takes down the D-Rex,
For
but
sure.
which one? I don't know.
Yeah, that part's to be determined, but guarantee the Spinosaurus will play a factor of how the D-Rex dies, for sure.
No doubt about that, bro.
For sure.
No doubt about that.
And I'm definitely very excited and curious to see how that plays out when I finally get to see it for myself in theaters. I'm sure you are as well.
Oh, absolutely.
That's true. But anyways, I guess some other final predictions for the D-Rex I could say is that, do I think the D-Rex will fight anything else? I mean, I don't think it's going to fight the Raptors. I think the only dinosaur the Raptors are going to fight is probably just the Megalodon. That's my guess. But what do you think?
Might be interesting to see the Mutodon take on
Yeah.
the D-Rex.
Or University. I mean, that's cool. I don't know if there's a chance to have that happening, but I think that's a possibility. But in terms of what dinosaurs I think the Raptors will fight, I think here's my final prediction. I think guaranteed it's going to fight the Megalodon. I think there's a 50% chance it'll fight a Dilophosaurus. I think those are the two battles that we are most likely going to see with the Raptors, or at least one of those two.
I think between the two, a fight between Raptor and Mutodon is the more likely
For
one.
sure. Yeah, that's because it's the same scene where they are, right? So
Right, sure seems that way.
yeah. Yeah, so I would say guarantee that. Then the Raptor versus Dilo, I would say 40 to 50% chance of happening because they've been teasing that for so long. So
For sure.
True. And then for T-Rex, the T-Rex was going to fight anything else besides Spinosaurus. I don't think it's going to fight the T-Rex because that would kill off the new T-Rex, or I don't think it's going to fight the Raptors. My guess is that if they want to do like another interesting fight, maybe it's possible the T-Rex kills one of the Titanosauruses. Maybe I kind of doubt that, but if I'm just saying, I think that my final guess is the T-Rex only fights the Spinosaurus. But if it does fight something else, my guess is either the Megalodon or the Titanosaurus.
You know, I could honestly see the D-Rex taking down a Titanosaurus because kind of like the Indominus-Rex taking down the
Yeah,
Apatosauruses and the Brachiosaurus in Camp Cretaceous.
for sure.
It will help establish just how dangerous and powerful this mutant dinosaur is.
That's one thing. Like and there's ways they can do it where it doesn't feel like a repeat of Jurassic World. Maybe instead of them showing it killing like a graveyard Titanosaurus, it only kills one because again, Titanosaurus is a lot bigger than Apatosaurus,
Oh yeah.
and it's also even bigger than Brachiosaurus. So maybe there's like an epic fight where they fight to the death, and then the T-Rex wins with some injuries, showing how powerful both the Titanosaurus and T-Rex is
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking.
for sure. Yeah. So again, if the T-Rex fights any herbivores, I think the only herbivore it's going to fight is the Titanosaurus.
Right. I mean, just like how huge that thing is compared to the other ones.
For sure. So I think it would be a pretty good fight, actually,
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure. And then yeah, and then oh yeah, this for sure is going to be having is guaranteed. The D-Rex is definitely going to kill at least one person or more. That's guaranteed
Oh yeah, I mean, we definitely know that Duncan is a goner in this.
for sure. Yeah, I mean many leaks and suggestions say that he's a goner. So yeah, the D-Rex is definitely going to kill multiple humans for sure.
I agree.
That's true. And then for some other final predictions, should we move on to? Let me think. What other dinosaurs should we do our final predictions on?
Let me think. Oh, here's one. You know, you've heard about the rumor about there being like two T-Rexes in the movie,
I
right?
did,
So,
yeah. I mean, we only
what do you
seen
think
one,
of
but I
that?
think okay. So the two T-Rex thing, my guess is that the one we see one that's a river raft, and then maybe there's like there's at least one more scene with the Rex where the second Rex is doing something else that's scary. Maybe the second Rex is the one to fight a Spinosaurus. Maybe.
Maybe.
Hmm. Yeah, that's my guess. I think the second Rex, it's either going to fight a Spinosaurus or it's going to have another horrifying scene of it, hunting down the humans in some way. That's my guess for the second Rex. Either it's going to kill one of the Reaver Spinosauruses, or it's going to hunt down the humans in a way,
Yeah, that makes sense.
for sure. But what do you think? What are your final predictions of the T Rex? Like the
So,
second one?
I do think one of them is gonna be playing a more pivotal role than just the river raft scene.
True, true.
Because I mean, in most cases, I mean, we see the T-Rex in more than just one scene.
For
Where,
sure,
I
yeah.
mean, Jurassic Park 3, they only had that T-Rex in there to just show how big and powerful the Spino
For
was.
sure.
And then in
But ever since
Jurassic
then, they haven't done
World,
that,
like, it's a little different too because, this is Rexy herself from the first Jurassic
for
Park.
sure, yeah.
So, I would think that we're going to get more than just a river raft scene for T-Rex in this movie. Plus,
I agree,
not to
100%.
mention too that it seems like if there are two T-Rexes, one is gray and one is brown.
True.
Yeah, because the Mattel toys seem to be showing that.
For sure. But yeah, I do agree. Like it's hard to say what the second scene is going to be, but I can guarantee that there won't be just one scene of the T-Rex. We're going to get at least two scenes or more. That part I can guarantee. That's my final prediction on that.
Same. Also,
For sure.
I still remember when the first trailer for Rebirth came out and seeing that one brown T-Rex before the river raft chase.
Yeah.
Part of me wished that was Little Edie, and then seeing that the one of the other T-Rex toys is gray. Part of me wished it was Big
Yeah,
Edie.
that would have been awesome. But sadly, that's probably not the case. But I wish it was though.
Yeah, I mean, design-wise, they're not the same. I mean, we see that the Rebirth Rex, whether it's one or two of them, we see that it's very big and bulky, and like the leaks were saying originally, it's like a cross between Rexy and the Buck.
That is true. Although I will say this though, based off that Kentosaurus capture card, if we actually do see the JP3 Spinosaurus in this film, then my guess is that we're guaranteed going to see the Kentosaurus and maybe a couple other Manticore Island dinosaurs, and this would explain maybe where the rest of them from Manticore Island were taken to. They were taken to this Rebirth Island. That's my final prediction on that too.
You know,
If
that
JP3 Spino's
would be
back,
nice.
couple others will be back too. Maybe not Toro. I think the new Carno will be a new Carno, but I do think that Pierce. I think what's going to happen is maybe both Pierce and the JP3 Spinosaurus were taken here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be an interesting take. I mean, seriously, seeing like the Camp Cretaceous Kentrosaurus on those captives cards, that just, and like the fact that it's part of the Dominion line,
Yeah,
that just really raises some eyebrows and really makes you ask
for sure.
questions.
And that definitely is more proof that the JP3 Spinosaurus could actually be on this island after all, and as well as Pierce. This could explain where a couple of the Manticore Island dinosaurs were taken after the events of Camp Cretaceous Season 5.
Right?
For sure.
I mean, I would also hope that Rebirth would also acknowledge Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory within it, so.
For sure. That's my guess, too. My final guess on that, too. I do think that Jurassic Rebirth is going to at least acknowledge Chaos Theory and then maybe a little bit Camp Cretaceous, too, in some way, form. Even if it's just a small reference, I think we'll get at least one reference.
Yeah, that would be honestly very nice. I mean, we only got one reference to it in Dominion, and, it would be nice to see it acknowledged more.
For sure. Now, do you think we're going to get any herbivore versus herbivore fights?
Honestly, at this point, I don't think so.
I agree. So, my final prediction on that, I do think we're definitely going to get, I don't know. Do you even think we'll get a herbivore versus carnivore? Oh yeah, the Spino versus Trike. So yeah, okay. I would say guarantee we're gonna get a herbivore versus carnivore fight, but guarantee we're not gonna get a herbivore versus herbivore fight. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I don't think we'll be getting a herbivore versus herbivore fight in this movie.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see one of those, but maybe the next film they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think I think we're guaranteed gonna get a herbivore, at least one herbivore versus carnivore, which is gonna be Spinosaurus versus Triceratops, involving the Rebirth Spinosaurus, not the JB3 one in that fight.
Agreed.
For sure. It kind of sucks that they didn't choose the T Rex to fight it instead of the Spinosaurus because of the Jurassic part of the game, but live action version. Plus, people
I
have
know,
been wanting to
right?
see a T Rex versus Trike fight in a Jurassic movie for a long time. But just seeing Spino versus Trike that also is cool as well. So
I know, right? Like,
for sure.
for a we're definitely due for a live action T Rex versus Triceratops fight.
Yeah, for sure. I really hope that we get that in a future Jurassic Park movie if we're not going to get it in this one.
Absolutely.
That's true. And I'm trying to think what else we could add to this. So, in terms of battles in general, I think we talked about all our final predictions on what fights will happen in this movie. What do you think? Or do we miss any?
Well, um, how likely do you think it is that we'll get Quetzalcoatlus in the final fight at all?
And the final fight with
Like with
the Spinos and
yeah, and the D-Rex and stuff. Like, how likely do you think it is we'll see Quetzalcoatlus in that? Or, for that matter, any other scenes than when they're trying to get the DNA from its eggs?
um, my guess is that we're not going to see the Quetzalcoatlus fight any dinosaurs, but my guess is that we're going to get at least one more scene that's not involving the scene where they're trying to get the DNA from the egg. Maybe it's possible we'll get a Quetzalcoatlus attacking a helicopter, and maybe that's the helicopter that what's it called? I think his name is Rupert Friend's character. He was looking at. He
Oh
looks at
yeah.
like some kind of helicopter trapped up in the sky. Maybe that person was attacked and killed by the rebirth Quetzalcoatlus, and then he crash landed into the forest.
Uh, could be.
For sure. Although it would be nice to get a pterosaur involved with the battle in general because we haven't seen that really in in a Jurassic Park live action film, have we?
No, I don't think we have.
For sure. I mean, sure there was like the Indominus trying to eat the Tyrannos, but that's not really like a battle that's fair or just a battle where they're fighting to like the death, you know?
No, that isn't at all.
Yeah. But
Like, we didn't see the Pteranodons going after the Indominus
true.
at all. We just saw them flying away in fear from the Indominus.
For sure. I mean, my guess if do I think the Quetzalcoatlus will be in the final battle or not? Sadly, probably not. But I hope to be proven wrong because that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe at this point we're probably not going to see it again. Like in the we won't see it in the final battle, but I would like to see it appear in more than just one scene.
No, I agree. I really hope that that's not the only scene we get with it. And speaking of that, the Mosasaurus. Do you think the Mosasaurus will have more than just the scene where they're trying to get the DNA in the water?
I would hope so. I mean,
Sure.
especially if they took all this time to like create a brand new like model for it, like a brand new design for it.
Yeah, that's
I mean, don't
true.
let it go to waste, you
For sure.
know?
Sadly, since the Mosasaurus is known for not getting much screen time in the franchise, my best guess is that's probably the only scene we're gonna get with it. But if we were to get more scenes with it, my guess is maybe there's a scene where it eats one of the Quetzalcoatluses. Maybe there's a scene where maybe it after all does involve being in the final battle killing the D-Rex, which I hope that's not true because that'd be too much of a repeats. But my
True.
best guess is that it's either gonna have only that one scene or one other scene where it's like a quick cameo of it eating a dinosaur, but not the D-Rex though.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that they don't have the original Jurassic World Mosasaurus go to waste in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I would hope
True,
that she's still acknowledged.
for sure. Yeah, because she's never been the original Mosasaurus was never confirmed to be dead. So I would assume maybe she's still alive, but just not. She's not in this film because she's not on that part of the ocean.
Hmm.
But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the last we saw the Mosasaurus, she was somewhere in the Pacific, but whereas with the new movie, Rebirth Island, it's like set somewhere in like the Gulf of Mexico. So
Yeah,
I guess that's a reason why we're going with a different Mosasaurus. But considering that this is like 5 years after Dominion,
yeah.
I mean, I don't see
Stash.
why not. It would go around the world.
True, true. Yeah, so I guess her status is still currently unknown. I mean, it's still possible she could be alive because she's way younger than Rexy, and she's even younger than the JP3 Spino. So
True.
she's definitely like, and she probably is out of her prime by now. But I wouldn't say, she died at old age. If she did die, maybe it's because someone either killed her, or she couldn't get enough food, or got killed by a bigger, stronger marine reptile, megalodon. If that's possible, one of those options probably happened. But
Maybe that might mean Megalodon might appear in the movie. I mean, we see like a big set of Megalodon jaws, like in the scene where Zora and Henry go to recruit Duncan.
sure. Do you think we'll get a megalodon in this particular movie or no?
Hard to say at this point.
True.
I mean, at this point, I'm leaning more towards no.
I,
Otherwise,
I agree.
definitely would have had some kind of indication about it.
Yeah, that's true. I think if we're getting any surprise in this film, I think the only surprise we're gonna get in this film, like major surprise, is the JP3 Spinosaurus. I don't think we're gonna get any other major surprises except for that.
Agreed.
We'll get some more slight ones, like Carnotaurus, maybe Kentro, but I don't think though. I think the only like big surprise that's gonna make audience jump out of their seat 20 feet is the JP3 Spinosaurus
I agree.
for sure. But again, I would be satisfied with that one surprise, bro. That would be like a hell of a surprise.
Right?
Yeah, because at this point, I'm still leaning towards maybe not expecting it. I don't know what to say about that. It's very hard to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. But some other predictions. What's it called again? I mean, what final predictions do you have on the new cast?
Well, you know, what do you think of like a Zora and Henry Loomis like becoming a couple during the course of the movie? Or do you think that they're just going to remain like friends and coworkers and colleagues?
If I had to predict, if I had to predict, I do think that they're gonna probably become together because most of the time when we get new casts, for example, look what happened to Owen Grady and Claire Dearing. Look what happened to the Camp Cretaceous characters. A lot of them were ended up dating each other. Alan and Ellie and like you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right? So I do think that they're maybe at first no, but towards the end of the movie, yes, that's my guess
yeah. I mean, it's definitely possible,
for sure.
but we do know that like with Duncan and Zora, they're strictly friends because
True.
they can trust each other. They're there for each other, but it's strictly friendly. Like there's nothing romantic between Duncan and Zora,
Yeah,
as
they
far as I
definitely,
can tell.
yeah, definitely not those two, but I think Henry and Zora is
Yeah,
possible
absolutely.
for sure, for sure. Now, I did hear rumors that Henry's character is connected to Alan Grant, so my guess is that he's going to be mentioning Alan Grant in this movie.
I agree. I mean, also, have you seen his costume? It looks like the one Alan Grant wears in Jurassic Park 3, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And also in a new TV spot, he when Zora asks what the hell are those, he says Spinosaurus. So if we do get an explanation to why these new Spinosauruses look significantly different than the JP3 Spinosaurus, he's going to be the one to explain it. That's my final prediction if that happens.
Oh, for sure. I mean, what if it turns out that he was one of Dr. Grant's students at one point in time?
Yeah, that'd be
What if he
awesome.
actually knows Billy Brennan?
Oh my god, that would be amazing for sure.
Right?
That's true. And what other final predictions that we have for the main characters? Yeah, so I guess he's gonna be the one to talk about why the Spinosaurus look different. He's gonna explain his connection to Alan Grant. Zora and Henry are gonna become, they're gonna date towards the end of the movie. I think Duncan's gonna die sacrificing himself to the D-Rex. That's my guess as well.
I mean, Duncan sacrificing himself for the D-Rex. I think at this point it's a given.
True. Yeah, that's true. And then again, the Rupert's friend's character, the other guy that's on the ship, I think he's the one who's the main bad guy in this film.
Yeah, that's what I'm predicting too. I mean, then again, others are predicting that as well, but
True.
I
It's a pretty
think
common one, yeah.
I think that's going to be the obvious. That's pretty much going to be shown in the movie.
Exactly. And to add on to that, I think halfway through the film, he's going to be the one to reveal that major plot twist that explains everything to why this movie felt like it's retcon, but that turns out it wasn't retcon at all. That's my guess.
Right?
For sure. So he'll kind of be like, the Ken Wheatley of this film. Because remember, Ken Wheatley was the one where the plot twist happened in Fallen Kingdom?
Oh, I remember.
Yep. Ken Wheatley. But then Karma got him good when the Indoraptor ate his arm off.
Oh, that's for sure.
True. Oh, here's a good one. Do you think that this film will have a post-credit scene or not?
Ooh, I would love it if that were the case. But I don't know if that's officially a thing at this moment. I mean, we only had one post-credit scene in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
That is
None
true.
of the others had one.
For sure. So I'm going to take a wild guess. I'm going to say there is going to be a post-credit scene because I think that, since they only done it once, they're probably going to want to do it again. And since maybe, they didn't do it in Dominion, my best guess is that there's going to be a small post-credit scene to lead to the sequel. I mean, even if it doesn't happen, I'm just taking a wild guess this time. My final guess is there's going to be a post-credit scene.
That would be cool.
True.
We'll just have to wait and see, though.
For sure. Anyways, tell me your opinion. What's your final guess? Do you think there will or won't be a post-credit scene?
Again, right now, I just think that's in the air. I mean,
True.
But if I had to wager a guess, I'm probably going to say no, just based on that we haven't had post-credit scenes of the other ones except for Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're probably right, but I'm just saying, I'm just guessing yes, because maybe this time they decide to do another one, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so another prediction. I'm trying to think here. I mean, obviously for the opening titles, it's going to be, Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment. What kind of theme they're going to play? Because they notice how every new Jurassic Park film for the opening titles, they always have like a different kind of theme. My best guess is that the theme for the Universal and Amblin opening, it won't be a theme that we heard before. Because every new Jurassic Park film, the opening titles are always a different theme.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be different music for sure.
100%. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yep.
And some other final predictions. Oh, what do you think the ending part of the film is going to be like?
So I'm sure Zora will be successful in her mission, I mean.
True.
Like getting all the DNA she needs. And it's going to end with them still making the cures.
Yeah, that's my best guess. I think the film's going to end with a happy ending. They get the DNA and they're able to save millions of lives. They get back to the mainland, but then shortly after that they discover something else is off, and then it kind of ends there, and which leads to the next movie, whatever that plot's going to be for the next movie.
Right. And again, we would have to wait and see how well it does.
True.
So that way, because they'll definitely make another one if it makes enough money.
For sure. Now, my best guess, if there's a post-credit scene, I mean, this would be cool. This case, I'm going to take a wild guess to say this is going to happen. Is the post-credit scene will show who's going to be the next main antagonist of the next movie, whether it's going to be Carcharodontosaurus, Ultimasaurus, a human dinosaur hybrid, or whatever it is. It's going to be in the post-credit scene. Because I mean, that would be cool if that was the case,
Mm-hmm. But the question is, what could you do to top it? I mean,
true.
Because we had Spinosaurus for Jurassic Park 3, Indominus-Rex for Jurassic World, Giganotosaurus for Dominion, and then now the D-Rex for Rebirth. So
for sure, yeah.
Where else can you go from there?
Yeah, that's true. So hopefully it's because again, I do like the idea of a mutant dinosaur because we never gotten that before. So it is kind of hard to have like something else that could top the. Yeah, so I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that their idea is fresh for the next movie. It's something we haven't gotten before.
Right, I agree.
And explains a lot the plot and stuff.
I agree.
For sure. If it is a hybrid, I hope it's either going to be Ultimasaurus or a human dino hybrid. Because like if they do something like the Indominus-Rex or something similar to that, it will just feel like a repeat. So my hope is that it's either going to be Ultimasaurus or a human dinosaur hybrid. If it's none of those two, and they're going to go back to like a regular dinosaur antagonist, I hope it's going to be the Carcharodontosaurus.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But then again, since we already have the Giganotosaurus, there's a. I mean, because those two are very, very closely related.
True. Unless they can make the Carcharodontosaurus look a lot different than Zeb, so people don't get confused.
Right. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, we're still 2 weeks from the movie. We'll just have to see if that will happen.
For sure, for sure. Do you think there'll be any other pterosaurs in the movie besides Quetzalcoatlus? My guess is no, but what's your guess?
Well, if the toys are anything to go by, I'm hoping we get Pteranodon.
Yeah, that would be cool to get Pteranodon again.
And apparently, it's rumored that we'll get Rhamphorhynchus as well.
Oh, I hope that's true. That would be awesome.
Plus, also, there's a rumor that we might be getting another pterosaur. Like, I think it's pronounced Aroganathus or something. It's like a small one.
True, true. And speaking of Pteranodon, imagine we get the original Pteranodon back, the Pteranodon from the Lost World, because there was some hints suggesting towards that. So my guess is that if this movie is anything to go by from the marketing material, well, we might get to see the Lost World Pteranodons return.
That'd be nice.
For sure. That would be nice, actually. Really cool.
For sure.
So I think we also we talked about our final predictions for the Raptors and T-Rex already.
Oh, we did.
We talked about Spinosaurus, D-Rex, Aquilops.
Titanosaurus a bit.
For sure. Now, Aquilops, my only guess with that is that that's a dinosaur that they find on the island, and then they end up bonding with it because maybe its family abandoned it, and it ends up becoming their pet. But other than that, though, I don't really see it doing much more. That's my final guess with it. But what do you think?
I agree. I'm sure like Aquilops will just be on the island. Like I don't think the Delgado family is bringing it with them. Like the youngest girl in the family is probably going to find her,
True.
like all alone, and then like adopt her in a way.
Yeah, that's my guess too. For sure. And what other final things could we mention here? I think we covered most. I mean, do you think any of the do you think any returning characters from the previous Jurassic Park or World movies will be in this movie?
Well, if we are officially getting the JP3 Spinosaurus, then he'd probably be the only one.
True. Yeah, that's my guess too. I don't think any of the other dinosaurs or human characters are going to be in this movie unless it's a flashback scene. That's about it. It won't
I
be not in the
agree.
present though.
I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, I do kind of think Rexy is dead at this point.
Yeah, she most likely is. I think at this point the only returning character from the Jurassic Park and World era will be the JP3 Spinosaurus, and that's it.
Agreed. I mean, I don't think Owen Grady or Claire Dearing are showing up in any way, shape, or
Yeah,
form. I hope they're
that's true.
mentioned or acknowledged at least, but
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't think they're actually going to appear.
Yeah, at the most they'll get a quick mention. That's about it. The only character I think will be guaranteed mention is Alan Grant because of Henry Loomis. The other ones was up in the air.
Mm-hmm. Or I would also hope that if the opening scene with the D-Rex lab scene is still going to occur, I would hope that Dr. Wu gets mentioned at least once.
Yeah, I hope so too because he's the kind of guy who does those kind of things, right? So
Yep.
for sure, I'm sure John Hammond will be mentioned
Oh,
too.
absolutely. I know. I've got a feeling John Hammond will be
For
mentioned.
sure, yeah. But other than that, in terms of dinosaurs, I think the dinosaurs that will appear that were not in the trailers or any of the ones that were shown in the captive cars or the plot leaks had whether the Myosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Triceratops, things like those are most likely going to appear
I hope.
for sure. But
Because
any other sorry, man.
Oh, I was gonna say apparently they just released a new commercial for a new Jeep
Yeah,
that ties into Jurassic World Rebirth, and
right.
we apparently for a very fleeting moment see Ankylosaurus in it. Oh, and apparently there are these little red dinosaurs. From what I've heard, they're supposed to be Compsognathus,
Oh,
but
nice.
I would hope that they would explain why they look different if they are indeed Compsognathus.
Yeah, that's true. I agree, bro. For sure. In terms of long necks, I think the only long necks we're going to get in this film is Titanosaurus, and then maybe Tyrannon for other pterosaurs. And for other Spinosaurs, I think the only other Spinosaur that would appear is the JP3 Spinosaurus himself, or maybe if we're lucky, Baryonyx, because it was in part of the toys. But
Yeah, I would
T-Rex
hope so too.
for sure. Now T-Rex, probably just those two T-Rexes. Raptors, just the new Raptor pack.
Yeah, I don't think Blue is going to be in this one either.
Or any of the other Raptors, they're not going to be there either.
Right.
What other species? D-Rex, there's only going to be one. We know that for a fact.
Yep.
With dinosaurs, will there be one or two of? I mean, we know Titanosaurus. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole pack of them. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, like there's a lot more than I anticipated. I mean,
yeah, same.
I was only expecting like 2 individuals as per the first trailer, but by golly, there's a whole herd of them.
That was awesome, actually.
Right?
For sure.
But again, that also makes you wonder. I mean, was Titanosaurus originally planned for the old park, or are these like brand new clones from like Biosyn or Manticore or something?
For sure. And I guess, so speaking of that, thanks for bringing that up. So my final prediction is that the new Spinosaurus and Mosasaurus are made by Biosyn since they're scientifically accurate, and the new Dilophosaurus, T-Rex, and Quetzalcoatlus are made by InGen because they don't look like the Biosyn versions.
Right. And I mean, except for the frill, the frill color, the new Dilophosaurus for Rebirth looks just like the one from Dominion.
True, aka the ones from the original movie, which are different colors. Because those are the InGen ones. Look.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. So I guess that's my best guess is that the Spinosaurus in Rebirth is made by Biosyn, and then the JP3 one was either InGen or it was Biosyn, but it was like in the form of an amalgamation problem or something like that.
Right. I mean, if if those 3 Spinosauruses are Biosyn clones, that would make the most sense.
It would, yeah, because we know Biosyn has a lot of dinosaurs that are just pure clones, like the Giga and the what's it called, the Metro.
Oh, the Moros Intrepidus.
Yeah, Moros Intrepidus.
And then Therizinosaurus and Pyroraptor.
Yep, that's true. For sure, but for sure. Oh yeah, I guess my other prediction too. If it is true that the Biosyn Parasaurolophus is going to be in this movie, my guess is that the surviving, whether we see them or not in this film, the surviving Biosyn clones from the Biosyn Valley after the events of Dominion were eventually taken to this new island. That's my guess.
Right, because according to the premise, dinosaurs are trying to make their way more towards the equator now, and we know that Biosyn being in Italy, that's nowhere near the equator. So I'm sure dinosaurs are probably going to try to migrate from the valley.
Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah, so I guess that's a good solid prediction that's probably going to happen if that really is going to be the Biosyn Parasaurolophus on this new island. So
right,
for sure, because it wouldn't make sense if that's the only Biosyn dinosaur on this island unless the other ones all died off. But
like I said, also the Dilophosaurus looks identical to the Biosyn one in Dominion. So
true. So I think at least a couple of them or more were taken for sure.
For sure, yes.
And speaking of that, which leads me to the next one, I do believe that this island is a dumping ground for 2 things: for either unwanted species or dinosaurs that are too dangerous for both Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, or just too dangerous for the mainland.
Could be. I mean, I definitely believe that it is a dumping ground, like for the original park and Jurassic World.
Oh, for sure.
I look at that Quetzalcoatlus.
For sure, looks a lot different. Yeah, so it definitely is a dumping ground for both dinosaurs that are too dangerous or unwanted.
Right?
100%. For sure. I guess actually, you know what, bro? This actually makes sense. I think the reason why those weak Biosyn ducklings, the Spinosauruses, the new ones, are put on those islands because they're unwanted. They're useless. They can't fight or anything, and it's not like the JP3 Spinosaurus. So maybe what happened is these new Spinosaurus, since they're useless, they're put on this island because nobody wants them. And then number 2, the JP3 Spinosaurus being here makes sense too because it's too dangerous for the mainland and because it's too dangerous for the other islands.
That's actually a good theory.
For sure. This could explain why both both types of Spinosaurus, like both the amalgamation species of Spinosaurus and the acro species of Spinosaurus, were taken to this island because both are either too dangerous or because they're useless.
Right. That is a great theory.
100%. And also, speaking of Mosasaurus, this Mosasaurus, it looks bigger than the original Mosasaurus. So maybe that's why this Mosasaurus is here, because it's too dangerous for the other parts of the world.
That could be.
For sure. Yeah, because it looks massive, bro. It looks really big.
Oh, that's for sure.
For sure. My guess, it's either the same size, a slight bit smaller, or bigger. It's definitely not way smaller, that's for sure, if it is smaller.
Absolutely.
For sure. And this could be another explanation to why the smaller Quetzalcoatlus is on this island, because this one is kind of useless. It's not as strong as the other one, right? So that's why people would rather have the Biosyn one.
Yeah, and I would still predict that was an earlier attempt at cloning Quetzalcoatlus. Just
True.
considering that look how much different it is from the Biosyn ones from Rebirth. I mean, from Dominion.
For sure. Yeah, so I guess the Biosyn ones or the Biosyn Quetzalcoatlus from Dominion are pure clones, while maybe these ones are either gene splicing or amalgamation. Probably gene splicing, though. They don't look too hybridized.
My thought exactly. Because, I mean, to be honest, I really am still disappointed that they're not using the same Dominion design, just because that design for Quetzalcoatlus is perfect.
True. Yeah, I agree. I like the Biosyn one better, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. I just hope they can explain why the new Spino and new Quetzalcoatlus look way different.
Agreed. I mean, that deserves an explanation without a doubt.
100%. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, we know. I'm pretty sure, the Spinosaurus is killing at least one person, because we really see it, clamping on one person in the TV spots. So
yeah,
the new Spinosaurus is definitely killing at least one person or more.
Oh, absolutely. The Spinosaurus is taking someone down.
For sure. I mean, it's not going to be as scary as the JB3 one doing it, but hey, at least we're still getting to see a Spinosaurus kill someone again live action.
Right, exactly.
For sure. But either way, I hope this film is better than the other ones. We'll have to wait and see. I do have some high hopes for my base of what we're seeing, but do you think we should add anything else to this, bro? Or what do you think?
I think we covered most of it, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we covered the opening scene, we covered the halfway plot twist, we covered the ending scene, the battles, each particular species for our final predictions, and the plot. Again, we already know the plot is, so there's no really final prediction on that. The only thing that'll be added to the plot is the plot twist.
Yep.
If there is one.
Pretty much.
Which at this point, I hope there's a plot twist, because retconning everything would just be bullshit.
Yeah, would be.
For sure. But anyways, guys, tell us, what are your thoughts on Jurassic Rebirth? Tell us all your final predictions for the movie, and what do you think is going to happen? Do you think this film is a massive retcon or a massive plot twist? Because at this point, there's no middle ground. It's going to be one of those two options.
He's right, We'll have to wait and see, but at least we only have 2 weeks now.
Yeah, thank God. So at least finally all the questions for the next Jurassic World movie will be answered, and then after that, we'll have to get our questions answered for Season 4, which comes out on November 20th, which means Dave are going to make a video about that soon.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Anyways, David, it was so great to have you on here again, bro. You're the best.
Thanks, bro. It's always fun to do these.
Before I end this video, I want to thank all my fans who continue to watch my YouTube videos and support me for many years now. I love all my fans who are also my best friends. You guys are the best. If you're new to my YouTube channel and are enjoying my content on YouTube, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you're alerted for my next video on YouTube. Leave a like and share this video with everyone and post a friendly comment. Also, check out my Patreon for amazing deals I'm offering you guys, so you can not only support me, but so you can get extra content. Each tier has a list of all the benefits you will get from each tier. I hope you guys can join one of my tiers. The link to my Patreon is in the description below, and follow me on Instagram as well for extra content there. And if you wish to support me even further, my PayPal donation link is in the description below. All donations are highly appreciated by me, and if you wish to buy STK merchandise, the link to my Teespring is also in the description below. So if you want cool STK merch, including hats, pants, shoes, water bottles, workout and sport equipment, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweaters, stickers, necklaces, mugs, glasses, tank tops, bags, desk mats, and possibly more options in the future, then be sure to check out my store for epic STK merchandise. Any merch bought from you guys will be highly appreciated by me. And until my next video, have a great day and take care, everyone.